What's up, folks? Heine's Morning Update, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. See if that has any significance. Anyway, 21.5 was the low yesterday. ES right now is hovering right there. It dipped below that about the last hour or so down to 14. I would expect they're going to defend that 10 level. 12.5 was the level a couple weeks ago. So you have a POC here at 16. So that 14.10 level is fairly substantial. So we'll see if that holds at all. If not, then we're going to start to travel back down and start cleaning up singles from whatever is that November 11th. But I've got singles, to 83 and then all the way down, and then technically down to 72. So this is kind of an interesting level here that this 12 doesn't hold. I think we can really open up some downside. But again, it got defended by 2.5 or 1.5 today. So we'll see if they defend that or pop it down. I will be fairly surprised if, we do another down day, but, anything's on the table at this juncture. 45, 44, 45. 45 is my over-under. Above it, slightly bullish. Below it, slightly bearish. We're well below it now. So I'd like to see at least a retest of that, or the 53, 54 level was the overnight high. That 60 level is still crucial. So 62, 60, 62. So you need to get over that to get back into anything else. And then the other huge level is this 406 level, 4006. So those are really the two numbers I'm watching. Everything else is fairly insignificant. This 72 level is interesting, but it didn't seem to hold or do anything yesterday. It sliced right through it, so we'll see. Although the 60 was, but this is, again, the 62, 60 is going to be a doozy. So ideally, I'd like to see either that as a resistance or pop above and then, come up to test this 4006 level again. So we'll see. Be cautious. Not much on the economic radar. Here's your daily. As you can tell, that trend line held. The one that everybody and their mother has. Now we're down. 3909 is the POC for a 2-year volume on the side here. So that might be important. That's a huge volume node. So I would look for that. That's your, coincides with that 10, 12 half level. So again, I think that this is going to be defended, and then we pop back up. But that's just me. That's what I would be watching. Here's your weekly trend, still intact. Again, the 200, and then I do have that trend line from way back. Anyway, hourly pivot 3960, fucking perfect. 4,000 basically is your R1, 40, 50. Downside 3906, also perfect, and 3816 and 3812. So again, 45 is my over under, but that pivot at 60 is going to be a big number. Moving in daily SPX, here's your euro. Here, we'll move this over a little bit. It's still flirting with that 106. So I would assume we attempt that again and then come back down. But I'm not watching this or this the pound very much right now, just because it's really decoupled from SPX, which is interesting. So I'll wait until that starts to come back more in line. But it's not been acting. It's not been coinciding with this at all. So you do have a cash gap up here, 40.71.52, and then down here is that doozy, 38.58, 37.48. So that's a 90-point cash gap that I'm still, at some point, needs to be filled. On the daily chart, if you look, that 39.06 level is substantial as well. So a lot of movement came and stopped at this level. We had the huge spike up, come back down basically to that level. We went below it, came up to that level, and then we're above it, and then come back down to that level. So that's kind of coincides with that 3909 ES POC on the 2-year volume. So I would look for that to hold as well. We get below that, and then, again, we might all die. But I don't. I think this gets defended. I can't see it much more of a bear case after this sell-off, after that rip up. Although we did negate that whole bar down and went below it. So I don't know. Maybe we're in the process of all dying, and it's just going to continue down, which would surprise a lot of people. I think a lot of people got caught off guard when it closed above here and was flirting with this trend line. I think a lot of people were like, okay, now we're good to go, and it's going to go up for the Santa rally. And I think that hurt a lot of people. So we'll see. I think there's a lot of cautious people. It's kind of a tragedy that this isn't, going 1-to-1 this time with this. So, I mean, I'm still watching the euro, but the way this is popping up and the way this is dropping is interesting when you see dollar go down and equities go down. That's a little concerning, to be honest. But anyway, so that's kind of what I'm seeing. I really think the 906 level on SPX, 3909 level on ES gets defended, and then we come back up later in the day. That's I would be slightly bullish today, but it has to get over that 45 level. So that's a must. So as of right now, that 45 is resistance. 38 as well. That's your 100-day moving average. 40-45 is your 200-day. So it's still way up there. Wouldn't even worry about that one. I think the 50 is down here somewhere. 38, 34. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. I want above 38 or 39, 38. Definitely above 39, 45. And then if we can get above this 53, 54 level of the overnight high, then we test the 62. We get above that, and I think that we can definitely shoot for 44,006. But time will tell. Let the day progress, and we'll see what happens. If there's no trade, there's no trade. This market's been very hard to trade. Yesterday was very hard to trade. We went down, but man, that was not a smooth way down, and every dip looked like it was going to rip back up, and it didn't. It was very odd price action. So if we have that today, I don't know. I might sit out again. It's interesting times and interesting trade action. So again, we'll see today if maybe we get some more normalcy where we dip down early and then rally back up. That would be ideal. Anyway, stay safe and make sure you take your profit.